Hey, what's going on everybody? Zach here, and today we will be returning back to guitar videos. If you didn't see the last video, we actually did a video about watches. It did okay. We may or may not do that in the future, but just trying something new. But today, we are back to guitars. And as you could probably tell, the last thing on earth that I need is another guitar. So I did the correct thing, and I bought another guitar. In fact, if you look around the room, eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted it. It's that. So, let's take a look at this thing. This is a 2009 Gibson Les Paul Custom out of the Gibson Custom Shop. Now, it's most of a Les Paul Custom, as you can probably tell. I've always wanted a Les Paul Custom. I really wanted a white one. But my buddy Mark Chatfield hooked me up with this black one. It was in fantastic condition, nice weight, great neck, and I just couldn't pass it up for the deal. So, what are we going to do with this? Obviously, there's no parts on it right now, which I'm very sorry I didn't film. I didn't think about it. It did have everything on it when I got it. It was a very, very clean guitar. Whoever had it, I don't think played it very much. But yeah, so we're going to rebuild this thing. And I don't know, I just thought I would make a video because I thought I bought another guitar would make a great YouTube clickbait title. See, I'm learning that now. But yeah, so what are we going to do with this thing? First off, the pickups that were in it didn't sound very good. I'm not a big fan of Gibson pickups. You guys have said that before. I like old Gibson pickups, but this had like a 490 and a 498. They were okay. I mean, it didn't sound actively horrible. What was really bad was the electronics, and as you can see, I've gutted all that. The electronics in this guitar were so bad that, like the volume controls, when you had everything on 10, right, and you start to roll off the volume to clean the guitar up, it would go nothing, 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 off. Literally, the pots were an on-off switch. I think they were probably a linear taper. They might have even been 300K. I've seen Gibson use those before too. So we're going to change that to 500K vintage audio taper pots in the 50s wiring configuration, which will give us a lot more control there. And we're going to be throwing a new set of Brandon wound pickups in this. They're not even on the website yet. We're doing a little bit of testing. And yeah, that's what's going to go in there. And we're also going to convert the guitar from gold hardware to nickel hardware. As you can see, I've already got the posts in here. These are going to come back out though. I'm going to do a lightly aged nickel because, I don't know, again, if you guys watch this channel, you know I don't really like shiny stuff. So, that's the plan. Other than that, it's a great guitar, great starting point. So, let's go ahead and get this thing on the bench, and actually I have to go make the pickups, so I'll probably do that first. So we'll see you guys here in a bit. Okay guys, let's take a quick look at the parts here. This is all the stuff we took off of the guitar. You can see those covers look like brand new. This guitar was hardly ever played. I just don't like these pickups that much. Like I said, I think they're the 490, 498s. They have short pickup rings, just a standard kind of black speed knobs. They use those for quite a long time. We got our Nashville bridge in gold. Just crappy, you know, look at the capacitors on that thing. I mean, capacitor is a capacitor, but, you know, you want something cool in a Les Paul Custom. The world's worst on-off switch pots I've ever seen in my life. I should measure those. And then we come over here. So this is all the new hotness. Now, I will not be getting rid of this stuff. I thought about selling it on Reverb or something just as a whole kit. But I've kind of learned my lesson on that over the years. Here's some advice for you guys if you know, kind of doing something like this where you're changing everything on an expensive guitar. Keep this stuff. Don't get rid of it. Put it in a drawer somewhere. Because when you go to sell the guitar, even though all the parts that you put on it are better, people want the original parts for whatever reason. Me included. When I'm buying a guitar, I want it to be stock so I can do what I want with it. I don't want to buy somebody else's mess. You will get more money if you keep this stuff and put it back on when you go to resell the guitar. I'm not planning to sell the guitar, but, you know, never know. So here's all the new hotness. We've got the pickups here. We'll start out with those. So this is that new set I was telling you guys about. We're calling this the Straight 8 set. It's going to be kind of for a little bit more modern music. We'll explain a little more later. But we have an Alnico 8 bridge pickup. That's around 12.5K. We have an Alnico 5 neck pickup that is just under 8K. Should sound really cool. We have my M69 pickup rings that we're also going to use for this. These are the tall rings because I just like that look a little bit better. Then coming over to the hardware, just very lightly age the hardware. Like I said, we're just taking the shine off because I don't like really shiny nickel hardware. So another thing we're doing here is we are converting from an ABR, or from a Nashville to an ABR1. You can see the difference there. The Nashville is a little bit bigger and chunkier, and the ABR1 is a little bit smaller. This is my preferred bridge. Gibson used this up until sometime in the 70s. They switched over to the Nashville. I like the ABR1. And similarly, we are also switching the tailpiece. This is a very heavy tailpiece. I don't know exactly what this is made out of, but it's really heavy and clunky. We're switching to a lightweight aluminum tailpiece, which is kind of more what the 50s guitars would have. Now, you can't just put an ABR1 on a Nashville equipped guitar. You do have to modify it a little bit. Philadelphia Luthier sells an adapter kit to put an ABR bridge on a Nashville guitar. It's an adapter post. You're going to need that. There's our posts, you know, just generic steel posts. We have 500K vintage audio taper pots. Got a nickel switch there. Nice switch tip. We have our Grovers. Now, these are kidney bean Grovers. I just had these laying around. They're already aged. We're going to use them. I really want the tulip tips on here, though, so we may steal those off of the gold tuners, take the gold off of them, and age them to match and put them on here. Don't know yet. We'll see. Might be running a pick guard, might not. Don't know yet. We got our nice reflector knobs, also from Philly Luthier. And then we have some cool capacitors. These are Sprague Black Beauty. These are actually vintage. They're not really necessary. Again, I had them and I thought it would be cool. So I got to get moving on all this stuff. I got to wire up the switch, get the wiring harness going, and I got a lot of work to do. So I'm going to go do that now. A lot of progress, guys. We got our wiring in, pickups are in. We're starting to get some of the nickel hardware on. I actually just got done rolling the fretboard edges a little bit. They were a little bit sharp kind of in there, and I didn't really like that. You know, when you're holding it like that, you don't want a sharp edge right here. So I went in and I took that down a little bit. I still have to condition the fretboard. We still have to change the tuners. You can see I actually have one of the buttons off here because I was kind of starting to remove the gold from that so we can age it and put it on these. Still got to finish working on that. Got the pickups looking cool. We use T-top bobbins on these, which always looks cool on a Les Paul Custom because, you know, the Customs in the 70s would have had T-tops. Flip it around to the back here. That's where all the goodness is. Oh yeah, look at that. The wiring came out absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of just make the wiring as clean as humanly possible. If something ever was to go wrong at some point, it's very easy to find the issue if the wiring is neat. Yeah, that's all good to go. And I went ahead and tested it. Everything is working good. So at this point, I'm pretty sure the next time you see this thing, it's going to be all together. I still haven't decided on a pick guard yet. We'll have to wait and see on that one. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, here we go, guys. We're all done. This thing has some attitude now, both tonally and just look at it. You know, without the covers and the reflector and the nickel, it just looks fantastic. Sounds great as well. It really nails that kind of punk rock, you know, heavier sort of stuff that I was going to with this set. Our volume controls are incredible. They actually work now. You can turn the guitar down and have a nice clean sound. We'll show you that in a bit. It's just great. Kind of almost a dream come true guitar for me. I've always wanted a custom, like I said. Running into a Marshall JCM 800, just straight in. I'm sorry, this is just camera audio for this part. We'll get a mic on this thing at some point, but you guys got to hear this thing. So, we're going to go ahead and play you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.